You might not want it after you see this. Good morning, welcome back to BT. Today, the BT Live Eye is at Ultimate Muay Thai on Leela Avenue, where our buddy Drew Koza is catching up with Marianne and Vernis from Higher Level Fitness.
When it comes to Halloween season, our bodies start craving candy. Funny how that works. Well, the aisles are lined up with it. Yeah. Well, and Higher Level Fitness teaches us 3 reasons why we tend to overindulge this time of year.
A whole bag full of loot, and doesn't it look good? But the problem is we start eating and eating and eating all these delicious things, and before we know it, we've gotten way out of hand. So Marianne from Higher Level Fitness joining us today at Ultimate Muay Thai, giving us the lesson in Halloween, I guess, control, because we got to keep a handle on things. So Marianne, first of all, why is this the time of year when we just feel like we got to get into all this stuff?
Well, first of all, it's available. So as you know, the Halloween starts off the festive treats, so we're overindulging, we're overspending. So one of the main reasons that we start craving for some of this stuff is that we start seeing everything. So simply by the fact of seeing more, we end up eating more. And even thinking that there is more, we end up eating more.
What is the best way around that, though? Because it's everywhere. It's in the stores, and we're buying it, bringing it into our homes. I mean, when the kids go trick-or-treating this week, they're going to be bringing it all home?
It's just going to happen. So basically what you have to do is just be aware that it's there, and what you take a look at is just, number one is basically knowing, okay, so if there's going to be variety, we're going to end up eating more. There's been studies that show the more variety that there is, we actually consume double of that. So we know M&Ms, right? Something like M&Ms, they're the same, they taste the same, but different color. But just by seeing that there's more colors, we end up eating more than double.
Are you serious?
Just by seeing different colors.
Oh my gosh.
If we see different varieties, so just like here, there's candy, there's sugar, there's salt, just by even seeing this variety, we end up eating probably double more than what we normally see.
So my brain will see the Doritos and it'll see the ketchup chips and it'll want both just because they're both around there?
Yeah, so just like a buffet, when you know that there is more or you think that there is more, we're just going to end up consuming more. So that's one problem.
Okay. Those little, all these little chocolate bars too, when you buy them for Halloween candy to give out, they come in the like mixed box too, so there's all these different ones.
Yeah.
So because there's the variety, we're gonna want to eat more. Because we see it, we're gonna want to eat it because it's always around.
Yeah.
What else do we need to know about coping with our Halloween
Well, the second thing, and you made a great point, that was seeing, you know, we end up seeing more, right? So part of it too is when we're taking a look at the food, what we're having to do now, so this is going to be in the office, this is going to be around our house, this is going to be in the superstore or whatever grocery store that you end up looking at. So what ends up happening is that we're always having to make the decision now, do I have to buy it or do I not buy it? So every time we're there, from now until Halloween or even after that, we're making decisions as to whether or not we should buy the chocolate or the chips or we should not. So the more times we see it, there's going to be one of those chances that we're going to end up buying it and we're going to end up eating it. So that's just another reason why we end up eating more and craving more, because we end up seeing it.
And it's going to start wearing us down too. So even if we're being strong at the beginning, it's going to start taking us down because it's the time of year, right?
That's
like
right.
Growing up as kids, like you have your favorites, like the Kit Kat bar or the little sour eyeballs. So it's just part of a tradition too, which I guess is a trap as well, huh?
It is, yes. So comfort food. So just like, you know, when there's Halloween, oftentimes my favorite was the Kit Kats. The M&Ms, so these were some of my favorites. So all of this reminded me of hanging out with my cousins, hanging out with my family, and sitting at the table and trading our candy. So it ends up being a memory, and then it ends up being a tradition, and it ends up being on our hips.
Okay, gotcha. So I guess our best strategy then is recognize these things because it's part of a tradition like we were just talking about. We need to be on alert. Because it's in our house and we can see it on the counters or we can see it in these bags around the house, we got to be ready. And then just because there's all these different kinds, we want to try them all. So we just got to keep a handle on that and we should be successful, right?
Yeah, that's it. The number one thing is to be aware that it's around.
All right, Marianne, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sometimes, though, it can just be very, very delicious. So we're going to have to come up with some exercise ideas of how to combat this. Fortunately, Marianne and Vernis from Higher Level Fitness have some great ideas coming up for us a little bit later on today on BT.